Hello, my name is Katerina Jordan. I'm an associate professor at the University of Guelph. I'm here at the Guelph Turfgrass Institute, where I do research on turfgrass management and diseases of turfgrasses as well. I believe the public's perception of turfgrass is primarily that it's unnecessary, that it actually has a negative impact on the environment. So today we'll be talking about some of the environmental benefits of turfgrass. When we have lack of vegetation, you end up getting very hot areas that can actually absorb heat and then, of course, dissipate more heat. So this happens in areas where we have bare soil, but it especially happens in areas where we have concrete and asphalt. So turfgrass is one way that we can actually cool the environment that's around us. So just by having greenery, whether it's trees or turf or other vegetation, it really is able to cool the environment. And this is because of evapotranspiration. For example, if you have a healthy, maintained lawn, that area is likely to be about 10 degrees Celsius cooler than bare soil, 20 degrees Celsius cooler than artificial turf, and up to 30 degrees cooler than asphalt. So you can see the cooling effect that a healthy, maintained lawn can have, not just within that area, but on the environment around it. One of the issues with climate change, and one of the things that is being predicted, is more prolonged and more intense heat waves. So as we're starting to see CO2 being released, we start to see an increase in temperature globally. And so having a form of vegetation that is able to trap or sequester carbon and prevent its release to the same extent is, of course, very important in trying to reduce climate change. So when you mow your lawn and you leave your clippings on the ground, which is what is recommended for home lawns, you are actually leading to an increase in organic matter in that soil. So that in turn actually increases microbial activity, it increases the root health of that turf, it allows for greater moisture retention, and therefore increases the trapping of that carbon below ground, preventing some of that carbon from being released into the atmosphere and ultimately reducing global temperature. So as we talk about the numerous environmental benefits of turf, it is important to admit that yes, any plant is capable of photosynthesis and evapotranspiration and therefore cooling an environment compared to, say, asphalt or bare soil. However, turfgrass, because of how many plants are present in such a small area, I do believe is capable of some of these environmental benefits to a much greater degree. And in particular, one environmental benefit that I think turfgrass can give us better than any other plant, that is that of reducing soil erosion. So with climate change, the prediction is that we will see more severe and more extreme and prolonged water events. We see more potential for flooding. And as we have more extreme water movement, we also have the potential for soil loss to actually move with that water. Because turfgrass has such a high root to shoot ratio and is so well anchored into that soil, and because we have so many plants in a well-maintained turfgrass area that actually create a dense carpet, if you will, the turf is physically capable of stopping that water and the soil that comes with it. And to me, that is one of the strongest environmental benefits of a well-maintained turfgrass system. What's really incredible is as it stops that water has only one place to go, and that's down. So again, in a well-maintained area, that water then moves downward towards into the soil profile and then replenishes the water table or the aquifers. Finally, what's even more incredible is because of the high microbial activity, because of the high organic matter that we tend to see in turfgrass soils, that water is also being naturally filtered as it travels through that soil profile. So those microorganisms are capable of reducing pollutants and other toxins. So we actually have clean water now being returned to that aquifer. So we have physical stopping of the water in the soil, movement of that water down through the soil profile, and then that water being filtered as it replenishes the aquifer. So I hope now you have a better understanding of some of the aesthetic, societal, recreational, and environmental benefits that you can get from a well-maintained turfgrass system. These benefits are really only going to be maximized if the turfgrass area is well maintained. So whether you're a homeowner or a landscape manager or an occasional recreational user of a turfgrass stand, understand that we all play a role in the care and the maintenance of turfgrass systems. And that is important in potentially mitigating climate change and having a positive impact globally.
To learn more about the educational programs offered by the University of Guelph and the Guelph Turfgrass Institute, please visit our website or follow us on social media at Guelph Turf.